What's up, guys? Today, joined by Mr. Phil Jorgensen, manager of our feedlot here, and he's got a new toy he's pretty proud of here at Jorgensen Land Cattle that they finally got the bow put on. Been using it some, so we want to give you guys a full tour of the new working facility. I know you guys have seen a lot of this on social media, but we're going to do the full walkthrough today. Philip?
That's right. Let's take a look inside. So yeah, this is the building. It is an 88 by 60 building. 4 garage doors, an exhaust fan on the north wall. Everything on this floor is concrete. If you guys are standing here with me, you could feel it's actually built on a slope. We did it for that reason, obviously to drain, to wash out. As far as cattle coming in this building, they walk right downhill. They come in the chute real nice. They don't take much encouraging as far as getting into the chute. So yeah, this is kind of the building. This is a Summit contracting building. They had it up in no time. Obviously Molly equipment. We decided to go with Molly just because we've been with Molly for a while now. We have 3 other Molly chutes in 3 different areas. So yeah, we're used to Molly. That's why we decided to go with Molly. We'll take a look in here. This part of this building right here is our office, air conditioning, bathroom. Table, chairs, desk areas, fridges for employees, whatever they need. We come in here, this is where we meet every morning. The crew and I will come in and make a plan as far as, writing down sort sheets and figuring out loads the next day. That's where the morning starts.
And who's all going to office out here, Philip?
It'd be me, and then it would be our cow boss, Dylan Donahue. So
Both of you going to office out of here. That'll be good for you guys to have space out here with your team.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep.
Air conditioning's nice too.
Yeah, especially this time of year. It's really nice.
Yep. Show me the baby, Philip.
Yeah, this is my favorite part of the building, the northwest corner of this building right here. This would be our tack room slash our vet, Dr. Laura. She keeps all our semen tests and stuff, everything that she might need when she comes out to visit. Drugs, all our medicine and antibiotics, they're all in here. So we'll take a look inside. It's pretty empty right now. We've been sorting some bulls this morning. But yeah, as you can see, we got saddle racks, some locker space for all our guys, all their boots and chaps and overalls in the wintertime, I'm sure. And just kind of a nice place, so we don't have to use that office.
Yeah,
Keeps the office clean.
You gotta love this to keep muddy boots and muddy jackets out of your office, and you use this basically as a mud room along with your tack room, and keep the office clean.
Yeah, it's nice having everything, right here, separate from over there in the AC and when everyone's sitting down and relaxing and whatever else. So
yeah, and just touch on a minute what's going to happen on the west side of this barn.
Yeah,
we're not going to see it today, but it's coming. Go ahead and touch on that.
Yeah, we're setting up horse pasture up here with a set of 8 pens of runs. That's all designated, obviously, for our horses. It's right next to the tack room, right next to the building where everyone meets in the morning. It's just nice, big area away from everybody else. Keep them out, let them run, and obviously they have protection in the wintertime out there too. So.
Well, and it just sets your day up so much nicer when you can come to one spot, go catch what you need for the day, saddle, gather what information you need, and go start rather than having to run.
Yeah, that's right. And we got hitch and rail inside, hitch and rail outside this building. It's nice. Farrier really enjoys it too.
Yeah. So. Yeah. You talked about washout, Philip. Tell us a little bit about your system here to clean this barn up.
Yeah, so yeah, obviously we do a lot of semen testing. It's very important that the barn, stays clean while Dr. Laura's doing that. So yeah, cleanliness is a big deal for us. We have a 1,300-gallon tank right there with a little electric pump. We'll wash out every day. Every day when we're running bulls through, we'll wash out, obviously starting from the north. With the slope, it helps. It just works its way south all the way to the lagoon. So it works out really, really well, really well.
Walk to the front here and we'll start talking about some molly equipment.
I'll swing over here, I'll turn the pump on. We got two systems right here. This one runs the main pump. This one runs the auxiliary pump. Our auxiliary pump is for the second chute that comes in front of the main chute. We'll use that when we're freeze branding. We'll freeze brand roughly around probably 3,200 calves every year. So yeah, it's super nice having the second pump to run that second chute. It's a lot handier. So yeah, I'll turn this main pump on. It's right inside. This area right here we built, obviously keep everybody safe. Our vet, you never know, something might turn back around. Like I mentioned earlier, all Molly stuff. Molly had set us up pretty well with the 3 parts of the alleyway. We have the push bars behind them with the dividing gates in each alleyway, along with the turret gate in the back. What's super nice about this is that we all know how bulls might act some days and rather than others, especially when it's warm and whatever else. It's super important for our guys to stay safe. With the help with Molly, we actually have 4 hydraulic gates that lead up to our turret gate. The guys, with whatever else, if the bulls are flowing real nice, they won't even have to step in that alley, hardly. And if they do, it's not a lot of, you don't have to reach for any, gate handles or anything like that. You're bringing them in horseback. You can just, it's all ran on the remote. So you can just come with the cattle, flow with the cattle real nice. Everything works really, really well.
Yep. And this bad boy was built custom for Jorgensen Land Cattle?
Yep, it was built custom. We have what we call the front bar up here, boss. I don't know if you can see this. Is our schnitzel bar. It helps our vet keep the bull up when she's semen testing. It sits in there real nice with 2-year-olds, yearlings, any age bull. Fits in there real nice.
They did raise that other side.
Yep.
To where she's got more room to function when she's semen testing.
That's right. That's right. And then our left shoulder brand, they did cut this down a little bit to make sure our shoulder brand, we can get our shoulder brand in there real nice too. So it's a big, I forget the name of the chute, but it's not the max, it's the one bigger, but they also did keep this lower for when we're scrotaling. Yep. The one side scrotaling. So it makes it in there and get real nice when we're processing calves.
Scale under it, obviously, catch weights.
Actually, it's hung, we have weigh bars. The chute is floating, so actually it's floating, so everything's up top. So it's out of the mud, all of that. So everything is lifted up. You can lift the chute up. Makes it easy to wash out, get underneath it real nice.
I think this is a little bit interesting. Tell us where the computers hit at, and we do a lot of record keeping.
Yep. We got one computer here, one computer here. We don't use both of them all the time. Obviously we'll need 2 of them when we're freeze branding. It gives the guys, a screen to look at to make sure we got the right number for the right bull. This is our system. Everything is ran off this wand. We'll scan every bull that comes through the chute, make sure we take a weight depending on what we're doing. We have our setup in our system. We have a lot of different setups depending on what we're doing chute side. So we capture all the information about every time they come to the chute. So we'll make sure we'll get everything recorded, depending on, like I said, depending on what we're doing. Yeah. So.
And the room is nice here. I imagine just the space to be able to operate.
Yep. It is, and like I said earlier, depending on what you're doing, if you're semen testing, the guys will like to move this whole cart. You see it's on wheels. Yep. We'll move this whole cart behind that, so everyone's behind the screen. Okay. Dr. Laura, she doesn't have to yell as much, obviously because they're right there. So.
Anything else you want to talk about this part of the flow specifically? talked about the garage doors, but 2 ways cattle can come into this facility, correct?
Yeah, well, before we touch on that, Jamie, I'd like to maybe mention what these are. Though these set of hydraulics, they run the chute.
Okay.
They run the chute. These ones actually don't run the chute. They run all these gates.
Okay.
So you can run all these gates. See if I remember which ones are which. This lever runs the first gate, second gate, and the third gate. So yeah, everything you're able to run from right here to right here, and then there's another set up there along with this remote right here. So that's the beautiful part about this building and Molly equipment, is that you can literally be anywhere and be able to get cattle ran through this facility.
Basically, anybody on your team can run
From anywhere.
this whole facility
Yeah.
from where they're stationed at.
That's right.
Your alley guy has a set of.
Yep.
If he needs to kick this gate open for the guy bringing bulls from the back,
Yep.
that's going to be pretty handy.
Yep. Saves a lot of steps, that's for sure. With that, I think we'll step outside. Kind of, yeah, like what Jamie mentioned earlier, we got 2 set of garage doors on the east side of the building here. That is for obviously wind direction. If you want to try and keep the place warm in the winter, you can either, just kind of depending on what cattle want to do that day. You know, honestly, it's some guys prefer coming from the south, and some guys prefer coming right from the north right into the turret gate there. It's all about preference. There is no right or wrong way to do it. When we first started designing this building or this whole facility on paper, it was designed to be able to do anything from anywhere at any time. And it starts with these 2 garage doors. I mean, you can come in from anywhere, either one of them. So
I think one more thing you're planning on as far as right here is concerned, Philip, is going to be a big deal for you moving forward. Tell me a little bit about that.
yeah, obviously, I'm sure everyone's seen them before. Is sort gates out the chute. There's 3 gates that we can run potentially, and we do plan on doing this in the future. We're not quite set up for it yet, and that is to sort actually bulls coming out of the chute. And whatever you're working that day, you have to run one back through and do something to it, or if you're sorting for a customer or doing whatever thing you got to do out chute side. And that's our plan, is you can sort them right out there.
Hang hydraulics on those 3 gates and
That's right.
make it to where your guy up here at the chute can
Yep.
sort without somebody having to bounce down the alley
Yep.
to swing gates. Yeah,
Yep.
that'll be another big step saving.
Yeah, saves steps and saves the guy.
Yep, absolutely.
So.
All right, lead the way, sir.
Yeah, so we're actually in the middle of sorting some bulls right now. I think our best way is to come up through here. So right now we're coming out the northeast garage door. I'm going to kind of explain why we hung these gates, why we hang the rails this way, why we set up the pens the way we did. So I'll just talk about this gate a little bit. Every gate is a Blattner gate. There's 120 gates in this one facility, and that's inside and outside. 120 gates.
And then like 80% of the facility's gates.
Yes, 80. Yeah, it's just over 80% of this whole facility by foot is just gates. And like I said earlier, it's made to be able to get it from anywhere at any time. So all these latches are homemade latches. We bought all the materials. We built them ourselves. We hung all the gates ourselves. We coped all the pipe ourselves. Pounded the posts ourselves. The only thing that we did not do in-house was pour the concrete and build the building. And I'm extremely proud to say that we have a very very great group of guys here, and guys and girls. We all we welded, had a very fortunate winter, not a whole lot of snow, it wasn't very that cold. So we were able to weld all winter. It took us about just over a year to actually get us done. So yeah, every pipe you can see Boston is coped to fit each section of the alley. We did that, obviously. It's stronger, holds together better when you're working with this many bowls. Haven't broke one yet, so that's good. Haven't even broke a gate yet.
On the good side, nice part of that is if you do knock one down,
Yeah.
you just got one section to replace instead of a whole piece.
Yeah.
So
Took a little time, but it was definitely worth it in the long run. So
yeah.
we'll step out here and we'll kind of explain how cattle flow in.
Yeah, please. And you started talking about these latches, Philip. I want you to go ahead and finish up a little bit on that. Built to be friendly to guys horseback, correct?
Yep. Yeah, these latches were designed, obviously they're not so bad when you're on feet, and they're designed to be able to grab on horseback. It just beats leaning over your saddle, doesn't do what you gate, especially when you got one coming in hot. They're extremely friendly to whatever you're on. It's super handy. So this feedlot, if you see, there's two sets of alleys here. We call this one our 60s alley. We call this one our 70s alley. Each alley holds 1,000 head. We're actually CAFO'd to build 2 more alleys to the west. We're not quite in the books for it yet, but in the future. So with that, you can see our bifold gates here. This is a main road. We have a lot of traffic in and out here, so it's very important that our gates are able to swing real nice. People can come in and out of here. So yeah, right now they have these gates set up, these bifold gates, to bring in bulls from the 70s alley. We'll start, usually what we do when we sort bulls, we start as far away possible from the facility and we work our way closer, is how we do it. This is our first, we'll bring them down the alley. They get in this big area, they kind of turn around at you when they're fighting a little bit, but it's nothing too serious. Most of the time now that we've been using it a while, though they come right into our first big pen here. We call this our north catch pen. They'll come right into this pen if we're bringing them from the 70s alley, and then if you got from the 60s alley, you can actually bring in another group of bulls, kind of keep them separate, less fighting that way, and you can bring them right down the main alley that our crew's sorting bulls in there right now. So yeah, like I said earlier, this place is designed to do anything at any time.
Yeah, options.
You have options. That's right.
And to be able to be doing multiple things all at the same time.
Yeah, you're dealing with a lot of bulls for a lot of customers, and it's important that these bulls kind of stay separate from each other, and it reduces them getting hurt, stuff like that.
So take us, and I know they're sorting some bulls, so we're not going to get the full view there, but talk to me about how your sort pens are designed and built, and then maybe we can bounce down to the other side to your loadout and kind of talk about it at that end as well there, Phil.
Yep. We actually have four sets of sort pens here in this alley, labeled the 1s and the 2s, 1A through D, 2A through D. So yeah, we have 8 sets of pens up here in that section. You have this big pen here, and then we have 6 more holding pens that have waters in them, overnight pens that we were able to use too. So yeah, each of these pens, there's hay feeders in those pens. We kind of call those our overnight pens when guys are bringing bulls back.
Yep.
We kind of leave them all open, guys. There's actually a drive-through. We'll go up and look at it. There's a drive-through loadout for guys to pull right through, unload their bulls, and jump out. So
let's go over to your loadouts, and then we'll talk about being sorted down to load trucks.
Okay. Yeah.
Everything in your pens double gated in the middle to be able to open either way?
Yep, either way. They're gated to where we can open flush if we want one big pen. Then you don't have guys aren't getting stuck behind the pens. But yeah, whichever way you want to grab them, whichever way the cattle are flowing. So,
and that's a big deal, just on a day-to-day basis of being able to just adapt.
yep,
You know, you don't have to kick one back down the alley to come in a pen.
yep, yep. So this particular loadout chute, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it after this. Our Molly loadout chute is mainly set up to load out of these south pens here, these 6 south pens. Obviously, it's the same style of gate. We decided to keep everything the same. And this is gonna be kind of controversial. You can keep this in or not if you'd like, but I decided that I didn't want any slam latches. I don't like the slam latches gate, especially you have interns, you're teaching a lot. It's a bad habit to throw that gate in a slam latch and get kicked right back at you. So me and kind of our head guy that was helping us build this, we decided to keep everything same with this latch here. It keeps everybody 2 hands on the gate, and you have to I think it's safer. We haven't had anything, no gates come back at us. Obviously, you gotta have 2 hands on it, as you should anyway. But yeah, it prevents bad habits.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think that's controversial at all, Philip.
So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna just kind of talk about what goes down to sorting bulls. So yeah, like I mentioned earlier, there's 6 pens here. Depending on the customer, we don't just throw them all in a pen and just let them be, overnight until they're getting loaded on the truck, and then we sort down. We sort them down, kind of depending on, first of all, the age. You don't want to mix the 2-year-olds with the 3-year-olds or the yearlings. That obviously causes fighting. At the end of the day, what you're doing is trying to reduce fighting. Fighting and riding, that gets bulls hurt. It don't take very long for them to get hurt, especially when they're getting loaded out the next day. You want to make dang sure that they're comfortable, they're safe, they're not all worked up by the time you load them.
Yep.
So yeah, we'll actually sort them down per customer, by age, by customer, by the time they're getting loaded out, and depending on how the trucker wants to load them that next morning. So we're not fooling around, and the trucker's not waiting for us. We're ready to roll. So yeah, we sort out of the pens, and then we actually do like one more sort when they get down here. We're messing around with them a lot. It gets kind of tough around this year, and it gets warm and stuff, but at the end of the day, it does reduce stress if we do it this way. So,
but 6 pens here, you can almost be flat out sorted to go straight on a truck.
Yep. We'll be ready to roll. Say so-and-so wants his bulls. The truck driver wants so-and-so's bulls first. We'll grab them out of this pen. Walk up. If need be, grab this gate behind you. Most of the time with this facility, it's a funnel type, cone type loadout. They'll usually hit this fence. They'll go right down the gate. Then with that, you got them pretty much in an alley at this point here, and then they'll walk from then. You can follow them right up in the truck. Works out really, really well. We've had no issues with it all summer, really. It's been really nice. So it's actually, this one might get controversial. It's actually, for those who've been here before, this is actually a slope uphill. And we've kind of gotten a lot of questions about, cattle loading uphill. I believe that's a myth. Obviously, we've proved it wrong. My grandfather, Greg, he was my biggest. He was
not happy.
He was not happy. He didn't agree with it. But I made him the first load we ever loaded out of here. I called him. He was in town. I said, you might want to come watch this. And the first time I ever proved my grandfather wrong. I don't think I'll ever forget it either.
Yeah. Well, and I don't, it's not an extreme slope.
No, it's not.
And, I think the way you guys handle cattle today, and the way the facility's designed,
yeah,
I just, to me, it's all about a design that functions, but it's as much about how you handle the cattle. And I think you've got both pieces right here to where
Yeah.
they're going to go where you send them.
Yeah, 100% environmental.
So set up the same way on the other side with the second loadout.
Yep, the second loadout, it's a different loadout chute. Neighbor built that himself, works really, really well. A lot of other feedlots, a lot of other guys have the same loadout at their facilities, works really well. But yeah, it's set up the same. That one's actually more friendlier. The gates swing better to load from the top 8 pens up on the hill.
Okay.
To load out of that one.
But you will load out of these center pens as well if you need to.
Yep,
right?
yep. Especially when you have bulls that are, you know, you might have a truck driver cut in front of one of the others, so you got to do a little messing around or whatever. But yeah, these pens will all stay open. Usually we have one guy running the gate, have one guy running the gate with the load sheet, and then you have guys in the back with load sheets bringing them to these center pens. And then from that, the guy with the gate is waiting on the truck driver, letting him, you know, making sure he's ready, and then.
But again, this facility being over 80% gates, you know, it was designed to where when something like that happens, it gives you the opportunity.
Yeah, it's no issue at all.
To just, nobody, the
Yeah.
outside world has no idea that somebody cut in front of somebody else. You just swing a different gate.
You just deal with it, and it just swing a different gate and bringing them up from a different area. It's, yep, no issue at all for us.
Anything else you want to talk about here, Philip, or do you want to talk about your Molly loadout a little bit?
Yeah, I think we can roll up. We can talk about the Molly loadout. So, yeah, Molly, they shipped us a loadout chute with our package. It works. I mean, it works really, really nice. And we don't actually have electricity from the building to the pump yet. We will very, very soon.
Yep.
But anyway, kind of just to talk about it a little bit, this one lever raises and lowers your chute to fit whatever trailer is backed up to it. You know, it's a straight shot. This loadout chute behind you, Boston, has a slight bend into it for pickup and trailers. This one you can raise and lower, and it works. You know, you can get a ground load, or some of them 8-foot trailers in the back, they kind of sit up a little higher, just raise it up a little bit. It's really nice. You know, it saves injury, you know, possibilities for injury and whatever else. It's not much of a jump.
Yeah,
no one's jumping over each other, and
it'll flow a little bit better into it.
Yep, and then unloading too works really nice as well. So.
All right, what else you want to show me?
Probably the drive-through. We'll jump up. I think these guys got wrapped up here. So yeah, I guess this is our main road coming from the scale. Truck drivers, they can line up, whichever the first one is, pull through, line up, back up to the chute. Pretty much they can just line up and then out they go.
Yep.
Really, I mean, it's quite a big area here. There's really no room. It doesn't ever get tight. Really nice gravel. This whole area is concrete, as you can see. So the mud, I mean, it's really nice, and we're not waiting on, you know, because we got a lot of rain the night before or whatever else. It's really, really nice.
Yeah, they can get good traction.
Yep.
Get enough steam rolling out of here that when they hit the gravel, they can keep rolling.
Yep.
You still intentions of maybe putting a scale over here, or have you guys?
Yeah. In the future, we have not. I mean, we've been talking about it, and we haven't stopped talking about it. Finding the right location for that said scale is what we're working on. We obviously, I mean, it's from here, the truck drivers can go 3 different ways. You know, they can they're going back to the east or the west, or they're going to go south.
Yep.
So depending on where, I don't think there's going to be a right location. I think just somewhere closer is going to be the right location, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So. Yeah, we're talking about it for sure still.
Little things that, you know, will forever be things you're working on.
Yep.
Talk to me a little bit about your feeders, Philip. I think these are pretty neat.
Yeah, we decided to build our own. These hay feeders are set up so you can open this gate here. You pull right in, you know. You can clean them out. It just, you know, prevents, you know, it goes back to cleanliness. You get a lot of hay. You know, these bulls are only over here for a night, so you get a lot of hay that gets rained on and, you know, gets bad on you. So they're super nice. Swings all the way open. It fits the perfect you know, the perfect dimensions for a skid loader bucket. You can get in, push them up, make sure you're not wasting any, or even get in there and clean them out. So
Those are really nice.
Yep.
This was my favorite addition when you guys told me you were going to do this.
Yeah. So yeah, it'll be kind of hard to see here, Boston, with these vehicles here, but this would be our drive-through setup. It's made to we can drive, you know, pick up in trailers all the way around and come up this way and then shoot out, or they can just come right through here and shut this gate right here, and open this one, and then you can, it's just a drive-through setup, your typical setup right here. It makes it really easy, you know, for guys, especially you got a guy coming back late at night, no one's gonna be around. And it's really, really safe. Like I said, it just goes right down the alley to these pens here, so.
And you've got them caught.
Yep, you got them caught.
And looks like even if you really needed to, you could back in from the front here, another gate there to be able to load wherever.
Yep. Yeah, this is one of my favorite setups too, as far as just how all this goes.
Yeah, and again, ability to load from anywhere in the facility.
Yep.
Big change to how it is at the old facility.
For sure.
Has Loadinville's been a little less stressful this year?
It has. It's actually, it was kind of rough with the concrete at first, just because, you know, it's new concrete. It's hard on the feet a little bit, but other than that, it's been, you're able to really sort down some customers, and keep their bulls, you know, separate from everybody else's. It's been way less stressful showing up in the morning, you know, hoping that they hadn't been fighting all night or stuff, you know, something like that.
Yeah, Philip and I used to do this job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was out here and I was in the office trying to keep it straight, and there was a lot of head scratching days of how we're going to pull the next morning off.
Whose bulls we're gonna put with others, and how's that all work? It's been super nice, you know. Like I said, there's 14 pens or 15 pens you can keep overnight, and you can put a lot of bulls in here.
Yeah, it's a really cool facility. There was a lot of thought that went into how it got built.
Mm-hmm.
Really impressive, and we appreciate you taking the time to show it to us.
Yeah, well, appreciate you guys coming out.
Yeah, thanks guys for joining us. We'll catch you next time. Thanks, Phil.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.